Every weekend, millions of dollars are handed out across the PGA Tour. But while everyone focuses on the golfers cashing those oversized checks, there's someone standing just a few feet away, smiling quietly, shaking hands, and walking off with a slice of that prize money that'll make your jaw drop. Because behind every superstar golfer is a secret millionaire, or at least someone chasing that dream. Some caddies have made over $1 million in a single season. Others barely break even after paying for their own travel and hotel rooms. One even pocketed $300,000 in a single weekend, while another went home with nothing. So how much do pro golf caddies really make? And why is no one talking about the shocking pay gap inside the ropes? This isn't just about who carries the bag. It's about loyalty, strategy, and one of the most unpredictable pay systems in all of sports. Once you see the numbers, you'll never watch that handshake on the 18th green the same way again. Let's pull back the curtain on golf's most misunderstood job. Ask a casual fan what a caddy does, and you'll probably hear something like, they carry the clubs and read the greens? But that's like saying a Formula One pit crew changes the tires. At the professional level, a caddy is a strategist, a psychologist, a mathematician, and sometimes a therapist. They know every contour of every hole, every yard of fairway slope, every gust of wind that can shift a shot by 3 yards. They're the ones whispering the final number before $1 million swing. They decide whether it's an 8-iron or a 9-iron when the difference is the trophy or the loss. Jordan Spieth has openly credited his caddy Michael Greller for calming him under pressure during his 2015 Masters win. Phil Mickelson spent more than 2 decades with Jim Bones McKay, whose tactical advice helped shape one of golf's greatest short-game legacies. And today, Scottie Scheffler trusts Ted Scott to make the right call every time his putter starts to tremble. These partnerships run deeper than most fans realize. It's not just about reading greens, it's about reading people. A caddy has to sense when their player's confidence is fading, when to speak up and when to step back. In short, they're not just carrying the bag, they're carrying the pressure of someone else's entire career. And that kind of pressure deserves a paycheck to match. Or at least, you'd think so. Every caddy's income starts with a simple base pay, usually $1,500 to $3,000 per week. That's the standard stipend a player pays out of pocket for the caddy's time and effort, whether the tournament goes well or not. But here's the twist. That base pay doesn't go very far. Caddies are independent contractors, which means they cover their own travel, lodging, meals, and even tournament parking. A single week on the road can eat up more than half that stipend before they've even stepped on the first tee box. The real money comes from performance bonuses, which follow the famous 5-7-10 rule. 5% of winnings if the player makes the cut, 7% for a top 10 finish, 10% if the player wins the tournament. That structure turns every swing into a paycheck. If your golfer wins a $2 million purse, you earn $200,000 instantly. But if they miss the cut, you might actually lose money after travel expenses. That's the gamble every caddy lives with. One week you're celebrating with champagne, the next, you're quietly calculating whether you can afford your flight to the next city. And yet, they keep coming back because that 10% cut has changed lives. Only a handful of caddies ever reach the mountaintop. But when they do, the rewards are staggering. Take Ted Scott, for example, the man behind Scottie Scheffler, the world number one. Scheffler earned more than $24 million in 2024 alone. At a standard 10% cut, Ted Scott could have cleared $2.4 million just in bonus money, not counting his weekly stipend or sponsorships. Then there's Harry Diamond, Rory McIlroy's trusted friend and caddy. McIlroy's consistency on the PGA Tour means Diamond's annual earnings regularly surpass $1 million, with 2025 already rumored to be his biggest year yet. Bones McKay, who worked with Phil Mickelson for decades, was reportedly earning around $500,000 per year before leaving the bag to become an NBC golf commentator, proving that caddy experience itself has market value. Even lesser-known caddies are seeing serious paydays. Kopsick, who worked for journeyman pro Ben Silverman, made roughly $149,000 in one season. That's more than many mid-tier professionals earn on smaller tours. And get this, reports suggest 3 PGA Tour caddies made over $1 million in the past year alone, all while their names rarely appeared on TV. It's a life of massive highs, but it comes with some brutal lows, because behind those giant checks, there's a mountain of hidden costs that can turn even the best year into a financial tightrope. For all the luxury we see on camera, private jets, 5-star hotels, champagne on the 18th green, most caddies live a much leaner reality. They pay for everything themselves: flights, hotels, meals, laundry, rental cars, even their tournament credentials in some cases. Estimates suggest the average tour caddy spends between $25,000 and $50,000 a year just to stay on the road. There are no health benefits, no pension plans, and no guaranteed contracts. If your player gets hurt, withdraws, or loses form, you don't get paid. You can spend 2 weeks overseas, your player misses both cuts, and suddenly you're in the hole thousands of dollars. And yet there's no shortage of hopefuls waiting to take your spot. Because if the stars align, if your player gets hot, that one win can make it all worth it. Still, the lifestyle isn't glamorous. Many caddies bunk together to save money, share rental cars, and live out of duffel bags for months. They're the invisible backbone of the sport, sacrificing comfort for a shot at life-changing paydays. But in recent years, the balance of power has started to shift, and some caddies are finally cashing in like never before. For decades, caddies were treated as replaceable, part of the background. But now, they're becoming brands of their own. Look closely during any broadcast and you'll see it. Logos on hats, shirts, even yardage books. Those aren't random. Companies have realized that caddies are always in frame when their player wins. That kind of exposure is marketing gold. Top caddies are now landing sponsorship deals worth tens of thousands a year, in addition to their paychecks. Some are also signing retainers, guaranteed salaries from their players, giving them a safety net even during off weeks. And the real game changer? Live Golf. Rumors inside the sport say Live players are paying their caddies $500,000 or more per year, with all travel, food, and lodging covered. It's a luxury unheard of on the PGA Tour, and it's forcing a reckoning. Caddies are starting to realize their worth, and they're negotiating harder than ever. In some locker rooms, that's caused friction. Players quietly complaining that their caddies are getting too confident. But in others, players are doubling down, treating their caddies like business partners rather than employees. Because in modern golf, a trusted caddy isn't optional. They're the difference between a missed cut and a major win. So how do you actually become a pro caddy? There's no official program, no school, and no formula. Most start at local clubs or mini tours, earning tips and building reputations. Others come from golf backgrounds themselves, ex-college players or teaching pros looking for a way to stay in the game. But getting to the PGA Tour takes more than skill. It takes connections. You need someone to vouch for you, to take a chance on you when a bag opens up. Many of today's top caddies were longtime friends of their players before they ever set foot inside the ropes. Once you're in, the pressure never stops. A caddy's job depends entirely on someone else's performance. If your player hits a cold streak, you could be fired overnight. One bad read on a Sunday afternoon can end years of loyalty. Still, it's one of the few jobs in sports where your destiny can change in a single week. One win can erase months of losses, and one perfect call can change your life. That's what keeps them grinding through the exhaustion, the airports, and the endless fairways. Because deep down, every caddy knows they're one swing away from fortune. So how much do pro golf caddies really make? It depends on your player, your luck, and your timing. At the top, caddies like Ted Scott and Harry Diamond are clearing seven-figure salaries, living like the pros they work for. They travel the world, earn sponsorships, and share in golf's golden era of prize money. But for most, it's a constant battle, juggling travel costs, unpredictable paydays, and the fear of being replaced after one bad tournament. It's a life built on loyalty and chance, a game within the game. Yet despite the grind, every caddy will tell you it's worth it. Because when your player drains that final putt and the crowd roars, you're not just watching success, you helped create it. You made the call, picked the club, calmed the nerves. You turned numbers on a scorecard into history. The truth is, caddies are the unsung heroes of golf. They carry more than just clubs. They carry the weight of trust, precision, and pressure at the highest level. So the next time you see a golfer lift a trophy, remember the person standing just behind them, quietly smiling, counting their steps, and maybe counting a life-changing payday. Because sometimes, the most powerful people in golf aren't the ones taking the swing. Which part of this surprised you most? The millionaire insiders or the everyday grinders fighting to stay on tour? Drop your thoughts below.